Hey there, fellow female activists. Cathy Bettis, your wellness coach. And any newbies, hi, hello. This is our monthly recommendation. So both recommendation playlists and wellness playlists, we have our awesome positive quotient repetitions, and we start those off. But today's title or topic is Your Boundaries Are Justified. So with that said, let's go ahead and get ready. If you're new to this is going to freak you out, but it's okay. So I'm going to take my glasses off for this one. All right, so positive quotient repetitions or PQ reps. Positive quotient repetitions or PQ reps. It's how we make sure that our brains are connected to our body, right? Our mental fitness is just our mental state must be connected to our physical state. So what we're going to do, regardless of where you're at, whether you're sitting, standing, laying down, just not if you're driving. Pay attention to the road. But you can close your eyes if you wish. What we're going to do is probably the more awkward of the PQ repetitions, but it's going to be cool. So here we go. What I want you to do is I want you, and not, don't forget to breathe, but I want you to scrunch up, tense up every part of your body you can. Again, don't do this if you're driving, but scrunch it all up, tense up your face, tense up your, like everything, your mouth, your nose, tense up your eyebrows, tense up your arms, your fists, tense up your torso. Don't forget to breathe. Tense up your feet, your legs, everything, your bum. Tense it all up. Feel those sensations. Feel it, feel it, feel it, and then let it go. Feel the tingle. Catch your breath. Your heart rate's probably a little racing right now. Let your body experience relief. And when you're feeling more relaxed, go ahead, open your eyes if they're closed. Yes, that is PQ. That is what we call the tense PQ. Ooh, that's always a energy booster. Alrighty, so we experienced a PQ. It was a pretty, intense one. But for anyone who's new here, you're like, what the heck is wrong with her? It's all good. Um, Hopefully you feel okay. Um, Go ahead, sit down, get regulated again if you need to, if you require that. But what you experience, believe it or not, is exactly what you experience on a daily basis when you don't keep your boundaries, okay? Or when you feel guilt about your boundaries. That tensing in our body, it happens more times than we want to admit, and we just don't recognize it, okay? We let it seep in quite literally all the time. And that's what prolongs our agony when it comes to quote unquote our unhappy emotions, right? All emotions in our body, in our human state, are necessary. We are blessed to feel emotions. There are actually people who have disorders where they can't feel emotions. So consider yourself blessed, okay, and lucky. Um, and I purposely wanted to use that because it fits in perfectly with what we're talking about. Your boundaries matter. They are justified. So your boundaries are justified. I know that I'm preaching to the choir with regards to just the notion that just as many of us are like, whatever your cause is, right? We want fairness. We want equity. We want inclusivity. Like, we want everyone to have a chance, right? To have a life full of joy, of happiness, and stability, right? We want everyone to um, be able to, you know, seek out their best self, their best lives. Right now, um, it's a test, right? Especially for those in the US. So I bring that up because your boundaries, again, I think a lot of us here who are activists understand the boundaries, right? We put them there to keep ourselves safe, to keep ourselves able to just keep going every day. And then yet, sometimes, even still, especially if you're new to any kind of advocacy, you almost feel this type of guilt about setting boundaries, especially if you're a people pleaser. What I would say to you is understand and accept that your boundaries are justified. A perfect example, I brought this up in another video, but it's interesting because sleep, right, is very essential to actually having better boundaries, right, in your daily occurrences or your daily interactions. You're going to be more alert, right, if you get proper sleep. You're going to be better emotionally managed, quite literally. But what I'm getting at is that I was at a family gathering and I chose to leave early once his ceremony was over. Okay, it was awesome. But I chose because I knew what was going to come the next day, i.e., I knew that I wanted to keep my regular schedule. And instead of continuing on and heading to eat with everyone, which I mean I would love to do, but I was like, you know what? I know that my schedule is what it is, and I'm gonna want to wake up at the same time, even a little bit earlier in some cases. So I best not go and eat and then not be able to go to bed because my digestion hasn't taken full effect, right? So I made a choice to keep my boundary of my sleep schedule, and I was grateful for it the next day. Yes, I missed out on, hanging out with the family, but I attended the event that mattered. And then I, gave kisses and hugs, and then I went about my regular schedule. That was justified because my sleep is so important. Someone who is dealing with constant, quite literally, because not only I'm a volunteer for social justice issues, but I'm also a volunteer for a congressional campaign that my friend's running for. So my time is precious. And I know it's not going to be this busy all the time. So I'm like willing to put myself out there, right, when necessary. But then I get to follow certain boundaries and keep them in place so that I am benefiting not just myself, for sure, number one, but the other, um, you know, just the willingness, right, and the ability to help others. I am very so humbled and grateful that I have family members who like to have me around. So guess what I'm going to do? Because I didn't get to stick around a few days ago, I'm going to hopefully put together a little get together and then have, my family again. So they are very understanding of my boundaries. Yeah, we all have personal boundaries, but sometimes we forget why we have them, and then we feel guilty when we utilize those boundaries, when we put enforce those boundaries. Your boundaries are justified. What you are dealing with on a daily basis, wherever you're at, in life, you get to make sure that whatever boundaries you put in place, they're your boundaries. And you don't need to give an explanation to anyone why you have those boundaries. All you get to say is, I have a boundary, however you want to say it, but you're justified. And no one, unless you let them, can make you feel guilty. It is your choice to have boundaries. It's your choice to enforce those boundaries. And more importantly, you get to feel justified and knowing that your boundaries are helping you. That's the whole point. Um, the recommendation, again, is that at no time should you feel like your boundaries are not justified. There are many reasons why you have the boundaries you do. At the very least, you should remember that you put those boundaries where they are now because of how you felt previously, and you didn't want to feel that way anymore. Remember that. The same can happen, right? Like, let's say you're learning new lifestyle, habits. You get to keep remembering every time you take a step backwards, right? And you're like, why did I do that? I feel this way because I did this, right? Instead of keeping the boundary that you created. That's going to help you become more consistent. That's going to help you really understand the necessity and the gratitude for boundaries. And I assure you, it gets easier. But just understand that your boundaries are justified. Don't ever question why you put up those boundaries. And you know what? Boundaries will change. That's obvious. Humans change. So for now, whatever your boundaries are, accept them and know that they're there for a reason and they are justified. All right. So with that, thank you, and look forward to seeing you in our end of the month yoga session. It's live, it's on this channel, and it goes on at 12 p.m. PT. So be there. If it isn't live, it's pre-recorded, but most of the time I want it to be live. So we'll see you then. Until next video, take care and take charge.